What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I am back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video. We all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the video. You guys have asked for more fresh and fit content, and I promised that I would go ahead and react to more videos, so here we are.
Take on it. Agree, disagree. Doesn't not congruent with your life.
Being a single person. Sorry. Speak your truth, man. It's not you guys treating me. It's just like, it's really hard to take care of myself after being with someone for so long and giving it your all.
Wow.
And I know that I want to find someone's to share life with, but I'm at a point where I'm valuing myself, and I didn't put myself in this situation. I didn't choose to be where I am, and it's just like trying to get back on my feet to find the people that I can vibe with. I resonate with what she's saying. Like, the part that hit me most was doing it all on your own. Even though I don't have kids, I'm just here taking care of myself. It's hard as fuck. It's lonely. And there's nothing more that I want to share life again with someone that will like be there for me and appreciate me and value me. All parts of me. So, sorry.
No, it's fine.
So before he says anything, I just want to say this is a truth that a lot of modern women are ignoring, right? A truth that they know and that they are aware of, but that they ignore. They put on a great face, they put on a happy smile, and they act like it's literally something that's not valid. They find their strength in, like, bashing men. They find their strength in, becoming like a, quote unquote city girl, like all of these avenues that they go through. But the way that she was able to speak about this and speak in such vulnerability, but also in so much truth, because you can hear the truth in her voice. She's like, listen, I don't know what anybody's talking about. This is not fun. Like, this is not fun. I was, she said she was like basically in a long-term relationship. Now she has to do things by herself. And she said she didn't choose to be in that situation. So it seems like, either the person that she was with broke the relationship off or whatever it is. And she's genuine about the fact that, like, I don't know what these people are talking about, because this is nothing to glamorize. This is nothing to, like, yeah, we don't need men or we don't need this. Like, I'm giving you the real hard truth of how difficult it is to go back to maintaining life, being by, herself and being alone. Whereas when she had a counterpart, they were in a relationship, she was able to, maybe live a more comfortable life, do things a little bit more freely, and how difficult it is. And I think this is something that needs to be magnified. This is something that needs to be talked about a lot, because, people can hide behind things, but in actuality, if you look around and you're alone, right, and all of your friends, maybe the same friends that were egging you on to, leave him, we don't need him, girl, we this, end up in relationships, and you're the only one who's literally by the wayside, how are you going to feel? A lot like this woman.
Thank you for being honest. A lot of women would not admit that. Mm-hmm. They would not. They would say, I'm strong and independent, and they'll fight it to the grave. And thank you for being honest and vulnerable. Yeah. And I have an opinion on this, a take on this, which I'll give you guys some factual data after. But what's your take on that? You talking to Mike, please?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. As far as my background as well, I have always been the provider. I have always found a way. I have always, even when I got knocked down, I brung myself up with no help from a man. So my perspective is a little bit different. Like I said, like, I can be very submissive. I talk to alphas, but I just wouldn't be able to go to that other side because I'm not ready to give all of my trust into somebody because I've never been able to. Okay. So I agree with exactly what she says, and I understand that it's hard to do that when you're the provider. But I also know that in the end, yes, of course, I would love a man, to be able to play that role, and I know that I'm not meant to do all this by myself. So yeah, I agree.
And guys, I want to say one thing, man. Like, you understand, right? Imagine your whole life you've been lied to about how things in life are supposed to go.
Yeah.
And you find out later on that like it's all been a lie.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like, oh, I can just change automatically. You're gonna be like, fuck.
Think of the RP rage from a female perspective.
Yeah. Literally, like, females now are being told you can be this person independent, but in reality, they just want to have family.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, what do they do?
Yep.
It's something
Yep.
it's too late.
Yep. All right. So, what's your take on it? Agree, disagree?
Okay, so with that, I do agree with her due to the fact that I see it from two standpoints. I see it in the relationship. Well, I'll start with the other standpoint
Sure.
first. I see it within a business standpoint. You know, if you're handling a business, you know, and you're trying to do everything yourself, it's going to be very stressful for you. It's just going to make everything harder as opposed to you having a team or having somebody with you that's going to help you out with everything. It'll make your ride very much smoother. And the same thing with the relationship. I mean, well, with, you know, either being by yourself or being in a relationship. Yeah, you could try to do everything by yourself, but, you know, it's much easier to have somebody with you, you know, to take on, let's say, the bills or wherever else may come with it. You're going to, 9 times out of 10, you're going to need somebody to be with you.
I think, okay, and I want to take what she just said a step further, right? It's not just about the finances as well when it comes to, as a woman living in a household with a man. And I think that a lot of conversations get strung up on finances and money and this and that. Of course, yes, if you're living with a different person, it's going to be easier for you, right? But you know, some people would argue and say like they could just get a roommate, right? So yes, living with someone, you know, to help you financially is one thing, but I think that a strong point that people don't talk about a lot is the leadership of a man in the home of a woman. I feel like with women, like our relations, our feelings are so like, you know, fleeting. They're up and down, the this and that. We're very emotional by nature, and that's completely fine. But that's just how we're wired. That's how we are. We're very emotional. We think emotional. We feel certain things, and sometimes it's just that direction that you can get from your counterpart, from your man, in different aspects of, you know, even ways of like how you should do this, how you should do that. Like, so for a lot of people, I think it's more than just about finances. It's about having somebody in your corner when there's nobody around, when there's nobody that you can talk to. You have like a strong, you know, mindset of somebody that can lead you, direct you, guide you, be honest with you, be transparent with you, because they're doing it out of their love for you. And so, especially when you do experience that in a relationship, when you no longer have that, the feelings can be, you know, pretty hard to deal with.
Okay.
And you, just so that people know, because we got 10,000 live viewers, by the way, guys, like the video. You know, you're an entrepreneur. You have a lashes business,
Yes,
right?
I do.
Difficult running it by yourself.
Okay, yes, it is. For me, it is kind of difficult running the business by myself. You know, sometimes as a business owner, you know, there's times where you have your days where you get unmotivated. And with having a business, you have to stay consistent. So sometimes, let's say I'm not motivated, I'm not consistent, I'm not going to get that many sales. I'm not going to get all the sales that I need, as opposed to me being consistent, posting every day, you know, talking on live as I should. But like I said, it'll be more easier with the team.
Cool. Your take on it?
I mostly pretty much agree. Everything is easier with someone by your side, and it's definitely more enjoyable to life having someone by your side. I know definitely I get in my moments where I might be a little lonely, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I can't be independent, but being independent isn't what's surrounding my world or making my world go round.
All right.
I think it's really easy to follow or trendy, let's say, to follow the strong, independent woman, I don't need a man trope. But at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself if you're really going to be fulfilled coming home to an empty apartment, ordering takeout. Like, is this really what you want from your life? Or are you, you know, just trying to follow this empowering idea that you need to do everything on your own and that you don't need a man and that men and women don't need each other?
I love the quotes that she put for empowering, because I think it shows that, you know, a lot of modern women have been lied to. There's no other way to put it. I think it shows the lies that they've been fed, and the realization from all of these women so far. I don't know how it's going to go with the rest of the panel, but all these women so far that are like, yeah, like, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like, they lied. Like, they make it seem like we don't need them, we don't need this, we don't need that. But at the same time, like, I'm home by myself. Like, like, they have to buy a dog for protection, or, like, they have literally no one to talk to when they're done with their day, blabbing their mouth on, this, that. Like, who am I going to build a life with? Who am I going to be in this space with? I've made the money, I've done this, I've done all of these things, but I'm coming home to an empty bed. And these are conversations, again, that I think are necessary to have. And I love that all these women are transparent about it and saying, like, yeah, like, no, we need that in our lives.
Okay, cool. What's your take on that?
Well, first, I think it's bold and brave that you cried first. I wasn't sure who was going to be, you or me, so it feels good I wasn't the only one here, because I'm not about to have these 10,000 people roast me. I agree with her. There's a level of every woman, despite how they feel, whether they're on this independent thing, wants to be kept, right? We all want to be kept, and it's just a level of relief that you feel to know that you have somebody who is the pillar and the foundation of the household, and you are able to basically make a household in order to make it be a real home. I'm a private nanny, so I work personally with fathers all the time and be like, hey, I can't do this alone, because sometimes being a private nanny can really feel like being a single parent a lot, and a lot of them can attest that you get burnt out like hell. But it really helps to know that there's a man present to basically enforce these rules with the kids, and also demand the respect that it is, and keep it a balanced household in order for the household to continue moving forward. And that's just me getting paid for it. God can only imagine you being a parent 24/7.
Cool. Do you were you able to gather your thoughts?
I did. So it's
No wrong with disagreeing. Go ahead.
No,
Wait.
I totally agree with
floor.
it. That's the thing. Like, I agree with it. The only thing is, someone else mentioned before how they had a situation and they provided for their man. I had to do that in my past, and then after a certain amount of time, they weren't even trying. And like, that's what hurt me at the end of the day. Like, they didn't try for so long, and I was providing. I had the apartment, they were staying there, and it was like, what are you doing? Like, you're taking advantage of me, and like, I'm getting like everything for you. Like, I'm getting food, I'm getting the apartment, like you're playing video games, like, and you're not even going out and trying to get a job. And this is, I'm only 24 now. Like, this is only a few years ago, and it hurt. It hurt, like, because I'm the one out there like trying and working so hard. I wanted them to like be like, hey, I just came home from work. Like, let's do this, let's do that, and not I come home from work and I'm like, oh, you didn't even try to do anything. You didn't even cook. Like, I'm the one coming home. Like, you didn't even cook. Like, like at that point, like, the roles were reversed. I felt that, and I didn't want that. I would rather it be the other way.
I have a question though.
Go for it.
Who chose the guy?
Like, you mean like I chose the guy, or like he chose me?
As in, like, okay, if you found out who he was, why'd you like tolerate it for so long?
It changed. Yeah. It changed going in, like, about 6 months to a year in. It changed completely. Like, he was not like that, and then changed.
That's how it usually goes.
And he also like when like you said before, you like girls when they go out a certain way and they're not dressed like that. He changed like the way like I went out. He made me only wear certain clothes, and then he only made me hang out with certain friends. Like, it was like very weird. Like, to me, that was weird. Like, it changed after a certain time. It didn't happen in the beginning of the relationship. It happened after like 6 months into a year, and I was like, what is going on?
You weren't okay with
it. It was
change,
like it was a complete flip. Like, if I went into it knowing what it was going to be, I've been okay with it. Like, because like that's how the beginning and like the stand of the relationship started. It happened midway through, and I was like, what is going on here?
Well, I don't agree with him changing midway, because obviously from the beginning you should know what time it is. Like, all right, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. These are my standards. But for him to change midway, that's kind of.
It was super weird.
Just out of curiosity, did he change midway as he was losing his job and you started to support him?
No, after 6 months of me supporting, he was like completely switching, because like I was still doing what I was doing.
Oh, so you were in the breadwinner role and he tried to dictate terms with you?
Yeah, but I didn't mind for a certain, like, I liked him saying, like, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. After so much time going into it, he was like, oh no, like, I need to, like, regain that role, is kind of what it came down to.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that there's a lot of different reasons why that situation happened. She said she's 24. Maybe the guy was a lot younger. Maybe just the stress of, some people go through a lot of things, right? I don't know this exact situation. I don't know, the other side of the story. We can only go by what she's saying. And the thing is, people go through things, right? Sometimes, he might have lost his job, got depressed, resorted to just playing video games and is just living in this monotonous role. Then is trying to, regain power by having control over something. So maybe having control, over her and her appearance and stuff like that. People go through things, right? But I think it's interesting because this is what a lot of men have to deal with, right? This is what a lot of men have to deal with. And people don't take that into account. They don't care. They're just like, empty your pockets and provide for me. When a lot of men are not even making, a substantial amount of money to sustain life. And, there's women that are walking around like, gimme, 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 gimme. No, I don't want to work. No, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Even though you're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, I want this kind of lifestyle. So I think it's interesting that she got to experience that from the other, part of that. And she said she would prefer it the other way around. But hopefully, even if she is in a situation where a man can, provide for her, take care of her, she is supportive in a different way for him because of what she experienced, right? She's not just standing there like this. She's, still kind of like maybe doing things for herself or on her own and not always asking, just in respect because of what she experienced.
Yeah.
I not gonna add to the conversation because I really do agree with a lot of what the girls said.
Okay.
Me, so
okay.
I'm just gonna leave
you
it.
You don't have a point to argue or here?
What? Really?
What?
No.
What?
I'm surprised. What's going on?
Hear me out. Like,
There we go.
Okay, now
here we go.
Now she knows it's not arguing.
being enlightened. No, I'm not being enlightened, but like I do think, being independent to some point. Like everybody likes companionship because we're not meant to be alone. I don't think we're meant to be alone. You get me? I think that's just a survival thing. We're meant to be around other people and feeling loved. That's just a human nature type of thing, and that's just a human nature type of thing. But yeah, so I'm just gonna agree with what y'all said.
All right, what's your take on it?
Yeah.
You gonna hear the video for once, so.
See, I barely heard.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, pause.
But I got the,
Come on.
I got the background of the video with the girls comment. Yeah. But I do feel like life is supposed to be enjoyed with the people that you love and having a partner, right next to you all the time. Me personally, I'm such a social butterfly, and like, we have a big family. I have my sister, my parents. We have 3 dogs. Like, and there's always people coming in and out in my house. Like, we always have family visiting. So I'm used to being around people. So I wouldn't like if I move out of my house, I feel like I would never get used to being like getting to a house that is alone because that's just not my nature. Like I didn't grow up with that. So I don't know. I grew up in a very like family oriented environment, and that's what I want my life to keep on, moving onto.
So you want luck?
I like this conversation, and I think it's very interesting because like a lot of people who have been asking me to react to their content. I think it's interesting because I think there's a narrative being painted about like the panel, and I can understand why because some of their conversations get very intense, but the way that they handled even just like this woman crying and her vulnerability and her vulnerable state, like I think that's nice that they allow that safe space. They called for her to like get tissue, even though I'm sure like some people emotionally, like when other people are crying, they're just like they don't even know what to do. They're just like somebody's crying, But the way that they handled that, I think, says a lot about their openness to listening to certain conversations and allowing women to be women. But I think it's when you change that narrative, when you start being combative and you start trying to argue points that don't necessarily make sense or don't coincide with certain structures of how things are supposed to be, right? I think that's when they kind of like go off on tangents. But I think this was a really good conversation. I think this is a truth that a lot of people are not willing to talk about but should talk about. I would love to see more of this, right? Like we see all of this whole nature of like not needing men and stuff like that on social media, or like take from them. But I think these conversations need to be put to the forefront so that people can realize like there's consequences to being independent, right? Like there's a whole other side of being independent, not needing men. And sometimes you might be crying. Sometimes you might be alone by yourself. Sometimes you're going to come home and there's going to be nobody absolutely there. So let me know what you guys think about this in the video, in the comment section down below. And then make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.